Okay.
How do you like my sweatshirt? Okay, you might have to edit that. All right. Hey, welcome to Muni Misfits. My name is Chris Larson, head golf professional at Osgood. I got Matt Cook and Greg McCullough, head golf professionals at Rose Creek and Edgewood. Together, we're the Misfits. We have an awesome show for you guys today.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we had a little bit of weather roll through this last week or last couple of days. Did you guys get your men's days, ladies' days? Did everything go off without a hitch?
We didn't last night. We did not last night.
It's interesting to me, and we talked about this off air, in that like you're so far north and we're southwest. Like we had just like tornadic activity go through. I mean, it was crazy, and then we had tons of rain, and I mean, we were very, very lucky to have a golf course afterwards. It was like crazy. So, but how much did you guys get over there?
I think we probably got a quarter of an inch, maybe.
Okay.
How about you? A couple inches?
Like it seemed like feet in
Yeah.
some places. So the golf course was, pretty dry though. So we had definitely, it absorbed it well. And then how about you? You were like ignoring my text last night. So
you know what? I stepped on outside, had my phone in the hand, and I think my phone is now somewhere in Canada. So it just
sure.
flew out, took off. That winds were, I don't know what it got up to as far as sustained winds. I didn't watch the news last night to see if they said it, but it had to have been 60 to 70. Because I'm telling you what, like our range, we've got these plastic buckets to begin with, but they're all filled with water. We were finding those like in the coulee. So I mean, that's like 600 and 700 yards away. All of our range targets, you've got those that are, some are probably anywhere from 3 feet to 4 feet in diameter with sand in the bottom base of it. So they're pretty heavy. Those all went ripping across to hit the net, and they just kind of stuck there then. So all that stuff was crazy. I'm pretty sure I saw a cow flying through the air at one time. But we had for our men's club, we do tee times. And so we got everybody out on the golf course at least through about that 4 to 4:30 range. And then we had to blow the whistle, brought everybody in because we were starting to hear the thunder, see a little bit of lightning out in the distance. And of course our gauges we use like the apps. And so we started seeing that lightning was in close proximity. So blew the whistle, called everybody on in. And you know how everybody is, we see the cells come through. It looks like it's all going to clear. Weather's going to be nice. And I'm like, yeah, but there's still some stuff kind of coming up from the back there. I think we should be cautious, wait a little bit. Typically like to wait at least about 20 minutes. Still hearing a lot of kind of thunder as far as in the distance. And everybody's just like, oh, come on, it's nice. Oh, we got to go. Come on. I'm like, let's just sit tight. And then all of a sudden the rain started coming. And then it kind of picked up intensity. And then that's when that wind hit. And they're all kind of like, good call.
Good call. So one of the most underappreciated things about being a golf professional is the meteorology, just knowing what's happening with weather. Like I think some people think that we are just a certified meteorologist back there. Like we've got a different weather app than everyone else, but we just look at it, I think, more routinely than other people. And you were right in the fact that when we were talking to each other, it felt like it was one of these storms that just kept on building from, the south and keep on popping up. And we totally saw that too. So yeah, hey, Cookie, you could have a green screen. You did really good. So
no, that's not true at all. But it was, although, no, I'm not going to count. So anyway, we ended up wanting to get play back out there, but with those high winds, we had gotten a report that we may have had some tree damage. So we went out to assess the situation, and we had one tree that was kind of like branched out like almost a V formation from the base, and that split. And it fell right on 11 green.
Oh.
Now at 11 green, we had a back hole location, so it was kind of just like comforting or surrounding or hugging the flagstick. Luckily, one large portion limb that was coming off of that fell kind of landed just barely onto the green, which kind of like supported the mass of it. So there was like a hole of probably about 3 feet by, I don't know how deep, that it kind of hit, and there was no other damage as far as the green. So I called the Air Cancer superintendent. He had just left Fargo, got back home. So he came back on out with our assistant, and I would say within 45 minutes, they'd had the entire thing cut up, moved off to the side, fixed as far as the hole, patched that on up, and we had play going again. We ended up having to cancel the game for the rest of the night, but we had the front side open. And once they got that all repaired, we started the backside. So we had like a lot of play afterwards. But
Sure.
yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Did you see any, Davies is hosting the North Dakota Class A girls soccer event. Did you see any soccer bags blow by, or soccer tents blow by, or any Mandan Braves paraphernalia that kind of blew through you?
I saw one huge, this big white ball. I thought that was a hailstone or something like that just flying by. So
You didn't touch it with your hands, did you?
we did not get there.
Okay,
quick
no
enough.
handball.
But no, that was nuts. And so it was going to be a very strong men's night. And unfortunately, we lost by about half the field. But it was, that happened about 3 times last year. Kind of got those later afternoon or evening.
I mean, it was so hot. It was so hot. Something was gonna pop up for sure. We actually saved the day. We had room on the back end because the end of the day we have just men's day tea time. So we just threw a little curveball at them and threw out a shotgun, and everyone really, really enjoyed it. So that was nice to be able to have that little bit of cushion. We definitely dropped some teams were like, well, it's walking only, so we went from roughly, 20 teams all the way down to, I think we had 13 or 12 teams play, which made it very easy to just send people out on a shotgun. So we managed, we saved men's day. Everyone's really, really happy. So anything else happening at courses, guys?
Like I just mentioned, leagues continue to be strong.
Yeah.
Our women's night, we just got an abundant more women actually signing up for that. And so this year, we had talked about doing like a 5:45 shotgun start with hoping doing some fun things as far as both before and after. It's a little bit easier to do it when it's a shotgun start, but we've gotten so many women signing up now that we had to make an executive decision to go back to tea times. Because I think even last week, we had in excess of I think it was close to 65 or something like that. And I think we had to turn away a group or two because we just had no room. So that's going to go back to tea times. So that's been really good. Men's club continues to keep hopping. We're hosting the North Dakota, the NDGA state floorball this weekend. So that's Saturday and Sunday. So we've been getting some people in town the last day or two to play some practice rounds that we wouldn't normally see out there. And so that should be fun. Hopefully the weather will cooperate.
And we're going to check in too with Tori too about her time over at Edgewood, right? Okay, so we got that in the hopper. Get to that maybe later. So, anything happening at Edgewood?
Just, we're open,
Yes.
which is good. We're riding carts. We still are playing one of our holes as a par 3. So we're picking up that way. Men, our leagues have been really good. We had a whole bunch of ladies signed up last night. The weather kind of blew us off there a little bit, but yeah, it's been good.
Starting to see a lot more green grass, like in some of those areas that were underwater a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think everything is really green. The peripheral areas, river areas, are coming back. It's just a little muddy down there. Our 7th hole, each day gets a little greener. He'll kind of reseed and do stuff like that as well, but it doesn't get worse. It keeps getting better every day. So I think the golf course is actually really pretty good. When you drive in, you can see, again, if you hit it into the river, you should have an issue there. But other than that, the golf course is very nice.
When we were out on the patio with the party for your 60th, everyone was kind of looking at, golf courses look amazing at sunset, right? But I am floored at how, it wasn't that long. It truly wasn't that long ago. It was underwater, and you look at it from that patio and you're like, whoa, they did a fantastic job getting that golf course each and every year that, we do battle the flooding. It's amazing how well they can get that golf course back in the condition that it's in. So again, kudos to superintendents. Thank you for doing your job. So, all right. So, we talk about the schedule before we get on air, and then I forget every time what we're going to talk about. So we had golf courses. We had what's happening today. What else do you got? What
I want to check in with Tori first.
do we want to see how we're?
I'm on pins and needles right now. I want to see how the progress has been.
Did you get a glove?
I did get a glove,
Okay.
and that helped.
All right.
My one blister is still oozing, so it was that bad.
Oh,
But
currently oozing?
well,
or-
not ooze, but my new glove has blood on it from my
That's
old-
some street cred
old
right there.
blister.
So you want a quick tip on blisters and how to make them heal faster?
Yeah, or clearly I need.
Two things, vitamin E.
Okay.
Yep, you can you can open up a vitamin E, or here's the secret one.
Vitamin E.
A potato.
Potato.
Yep, if you can get whatever infected area and inside a potato for probably 20 minutes or so, it's amazing.
So like I band-aid a potato on my finger
Well, you could,
or just hold it.
Yeah.
I'm a big potato fan. So.
see, so that's,
That's
Is
some,
this
that's
some
some bowling
bowling?
knowledge.
Okay, there it is. And
Yeah.
fingers vitally important in both golf and bowling.
Yeah.
So,
maybe we've done a few things with our fingers.
right. So I think we're gonna have you do the potato trick
Yeah.
and get back to us on that.
Okay, this one's pretty healed, or it's getting there. So it might be too late for the potato trick, but I will.
Vitamin E is really good as well.
Good to know.
Is that vitamin E? Is that it? Just where do you get vitamin E? What?
Any CVS pharmacy, just they come in little capsules. Just pin the capsule and there's liquid in the inside.
Okay.
Just put it on. It'll take about a day and it'll be really good.
Is that what you do, Matt?
I did not know that. I learned something every day from Dr. Spud.
That's right. That's perfect. Okay.
All right, so we have an oozing finger.
So yeah, so things have been good. I told Greg I've been making up. I don't like to go by myself, so I'll just go in the practice area. So I've been making up some games for myself.
Okay.
So my game right now, this one I actually can't take credit for. Lisa told it to us when we did those beginner lessons, and it honestly sucks. And it took me like a really long time. But when you're putting, you have to 2-putt every single hole. Like you start like 30 feet away, you have to 2-putt every hole, and if you don't, you have to start over.
Yes.
And it takes a really long time. It's really frustrating, but it's good because it puts a little pressure on you, you know?
Is that because you keep knocking it in one?
No,
Yep.
I really wish.
9 putts again. I can't do this right.
I really wish. The other one I've been doing is I'll play 9 holes on the practice area. And so I'll start with chipping. So I'll chip up onto the green. If I chip in, it's an eagle. I count it as an eagle and I like
Okay.
keep my own score. If I chip in 1 putt, that's par. 2 putts is a bogey. On and on and on. So I played
Jeez.
9 holes.
No. That's like fantastic.
It's fun.
practice.
And what'd you shoot?
I'm not ready to talk about
Okay.
it.
Well, there's no wrong answers here, but those are, again,
Tremendous
practicing
practice.
can be very boring.
Very boring.
Yes, so coming up with games like that is awesome because you will notice the difference for sure.
Plus, when you're golfing, there's a little bit of pressure. But I feel like if you're just bebopping around the practice area, there's no pressure, right? Unless you play a game.
Yeah, and the stuff that you're doing, like that's really, really good practice. The fact that you're trying to get up and down, chip on and make the putt, that's really, really good. And then the 2-putt thing I think is fantastic too. I think a lot of people when you putt, we get so used to just going up to the putting green before you play, and then you put down a ball that's like maybe 10 feet from the hole and you just practice like 10 footers, right? Just the random putts. The problem with that is like when we go out on the putting green or when you go play, how many of those do we make? You don't really make a whole lot of like 12, 10, 15 footers, right? And the likelihood of you 2-putting those is probably pretty good. So the effective practice there is not great. You want to practice 3-footers and 30-footers, right? At least that's what I think. I don't know what you guys do, but I want to be able to 2-putt anything outside of that, makeable range of like 6-7 feet. And then I want to be able to make every single putt within 3 feet. So statistically, that's where I'm putting my practice.
Little shout out to Scott Fawcett. We went to see
Oh
him.
yeah.
What was his, every 2 inches from 3 feet to 8 feet every inch is 2%.
Oh, that's
That's a lot.
that's
So when
incredible.
you go back a foot, you lose 24%. So that's a lot. So getting it closer, I mean, his gig is you got to get it closer if you can, right? I mean, this, back in the day, Dave Pell says 3 feet. Yeah, that's not right. You got to get it closer than that.
Oh, meaning for like
Anytime, right? I mean,
anytime.
he would, he would always say at 30 feet or more, you're just trying to get it within this 3-foot circle. I mean, I see high school coaches do it all the time, right? Or even sometimes college coaches get it within a 3-foot circle. Well, you know what? That's great at some level, but you got to make that a foot. You can't make it 3 feet because that percentage goes way down. You know, you think from 3 feet it wouldn't matter, but it matters a bunch. So when you're
Absolutely.
practicing like Tori is, I love the, you know, you got to shoot a score. But, you know, add it to your deal, and whatever that score is, it could be 50, it could be 30, it could be whatever, but you got to shoot a score. And then all of a sudden it becomes easier for you to take that on the practice facility out to the golf course. We see this all the time. You know, people say, well, I practice, I seem to be okay. I can't take it to the golf course. Well, there's no backlash practicing.
Right.
I mean, you know, but put yourself in like Tori, I got to start over. I mean, that's pressure.
Yeah, it sucks, especially when you're over it. And I don't have the personality where I'll quit. I probably, I mean, I was out there for a long time, and I got to the point where I was like, I'm going to be out here all night long.
But you just got way better, for sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, you did. No, there's no doubt about
Plus,
it.
it's free. I try to tell my friends this,
Yeah.
like, you can go out to those
Yes.
practice areas for free.
Yep.
And I don't even bring my whole bag. Sometimes I just bring my putter out there.
Yeah.
Because then I can't go, I mean, obviously I want to go like just nail with my driver for an hour. Like that's way more fun. So if I don't bring it, I don't even have a choice.
You're on the road to success.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are. And that would be that's a nice plug too for all of the practice facilities that we have at our golf courses.
Yeah.
And if you come out like towards the evening, you caught me at your place
I
too,
did.
by the way. If you come out towards the evenings, I mean that's a nice little, you know, evening activity is just come out to the putting and the chipping area and just like have a putt. It's so relaxing. So
Yeah.
good for you on practicing.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
so like
It's because I'm too scared
Impressed.
to actually play.
no.
But we did play last night, so we showed up
Okay.
for ladies'
Yeah.
night. Got rained out, so we went and had some food, and then it was beautiful
I
out.
did.
It rained for like an hour, and then it was beautiful. So we went in, and they sent us out, and it was cute. It was interesting.
So do you have a full team?
It was just 3 of us. Kelly, one of the gals on our team, lives way in South Fargo, and so when we called her, and she's like, "I'm not going to drive all the way down there,"
Sure.
because we didn't even know if we were going to get a play. So it was just Kylie, Cassie, and I.
Okay, so what was the game last night? You just
I don't know what we.
The lead game was going to be Beauty and the Beast, which is the low ball and
okay.
the high ball of the group.
That's fantastic.
Which,
That's a great
which
game.
in Tori's team's case, that would have been good.
It was something. I will say, like, the universe works in mysterious ways because we were very nervous, and then we ended up having the course to like ourselves, which never happens on a Fargo public golf course. No one behind us, no one in front of us. So it was very nice for us since we were nervous, and it was beautiful. I parred hole 5,
See?
but other than that, it was really bad.
Yeah, but I mean, the goal is to shoot par. And people have, you know, what is par? What is it? It's a score an expert should make on a hole. So you, for one hole, you are an expert.
Yeah, because
You
that's
give yourself credit for that. I mean, we have to take these in small, right? So you have 1, right? So next time maybe you have 2 or something like that. So people think they should make par. Well,
Right.
I mean, that's our goal, but it's not that easy. We see our people who are good players or expect everybody to be good. It's such a small percentage just because we see them on TV and we talk about them all the time. You know, but now we're going to add Tori into this to get a little bit different perspective. So congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
Cindy maybe can make you out a gift certificate award.
Par. Made par.
Well, gotta start somewhere.
You do.
But we had fun. It was fun. We laughed a lot,
Good.
and that's the point.
And
That's
golf
so good.
should be fun, right? That's the other
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
Kylie was a little late. She came zooming up with her chicken strips. No clubs, just chicken strips.
Priorities.
Also,
right?
the guy in the pro shop when we signed up, I don't know his name. I've never met him, but he was like, "What's your handicap?" And I was like, "Sir, I don't even know what that means." So just guess. He was like, "Well, we have to put a handicap down." I truly don't even.
So again, right, this is gonna be really good as to us, what we expect people to know maybe is different than what they actually do know. So that was the correct response.
We should actually get Tori in the handicap system and track her progress this year.
I would.
Is that scary though?
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
I would pay for a handicap.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't even know. I truly don't even know what the words you're saying
So
mean.
there we go, right?
Yeah.
There's the deal. That's the numerical number that allows you to play against other players.
Gotcha.
So that expert can play against somebody else and it gives you strokes depending on what your best scores are. So you can actually play a game. So we could play a game with everybody and it would be more fair.
So I get more tries than you
more,
get.
don't get more tries, you get more strokes on a hole. So basically you would get 2 strokes on a hole where we would get 0. So if you get a par, that would be a net eagle. So you take 2 shots off, or if you got a 6, you would get a net 4. That's kind of the way it works.
And
Yeah,
that's-
we'll do that.
Yeah, and the nice thing too about the handicap system, they've made, I think, very good improvements with it, because now it's very easy for people to use their handicaps and play different tees. And so that's a nice thing. That was always kind of a handcuff in the old way. There's a little bit of calculation. Now it's very, very easy. You just take your handicap and you look at what tee box you're playing, and it's on an app now too. So you can actually track your stats on there as well. So if you like doing the stat thing, or if you're, when you're practicing, you can actually see how many fairways you hit, where your tendencies are, if they go left, if they go right, if you go long, if you go short. And so that helps you with your practice as well. So yeah, I'd strongly recommend. I think the handicap thing for a lot of folks is a scary thing because they're in it just for fun, right? And as soon as you say handicap, it's kind of like, oh, that's for a serious golfer, right? But it does actually give a lot of really good information to people that if you just want to get a little bit better, I think just getting a handicap, if you're comfortable with going out to play golf and putting down a score, I think a handicap is a great way to get better, just to see what's happening.
So
Yes.
we'll do that.
Yeah. it's like a
I'll
progress.
get you one, so expect an email from Jim.
All right.
Okay?
So I actually have to play without picking up my ball.
Kind of,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's as well, but these are steps,
Yeah.
correct? These are steps, so.
Yeah.
We'll just keep wworking through the summer and see where we end up.
because I believe you can, now the handicap system allows you to have a total of 4 scores on 18 or 2 scores on 9 that you can basically X out like you picked up, and it'll give you your most probable score. Do you know that?
Are you supposed to put those in your most probable score, or does it? the
So you'd
computer do it
probably-
for you?
Yeah, the computer does it for you,
Got
because
it.
the most you can get,
Yep.
like for a max, would be a net double bogey.
Correct.
So like for somebody, it would probably just put you down for a net double at that point, unless you have an established handicap, and then it may assume, like if you're a scratch player, you get par for those holes that you didn't finish. Or you could, if you had a bad hole, just a bad, like, hey, I'm out of it, a net double is the highest that you can take.
Correct.
So
I think what I always pick on my ball because I'm scared for the people behind me.
So
it's a safety thing.
Well, no, yeah.
It's a speed thing, right?
I mean, I just don't ever want to. I'm just almost overly considerate of the people around me.
You're totally
1000%.
Midwest nice, yes.
If everybody was like that, we would play in less time.
You would.
Kudos.
Yeah, but I never like finish, or not never, but sometimes I don't finish like one hole because I just pick up
Yeah.
my ball.
See, that's the point too, where I think that a lot of people, especially starting, that are like uber conscious of what's happening all around them. Just seeing someone behind them,
Yeah.
tenses them up, and then it's like, I'm done. So you do have to still just play the game, and you're out there for yourself. But the fact that you are very, very conscious of other people, I wholeheartely agree with you. If we did that,
And that's okay. I mean, we need to get,
Yeah.
we need to, again, we have a lot of new people coming into the game, which is great, and it can be super scary and all that stuff. But you can certainly go, you don't have to finish a hole, but, you'd like to. But if you think you're playing too slow, you can pick it up and take it on the green and do your 1 putt or 2 putts
Yeah.
and then go to the next hole. There's no, that's a great way to start.
But then you can't track that for your handicap, right?
we'll figure out.
Yeah,
Well, again, this is a good journey, right? Because we're going through the process of from a beginner to what you feel and what you have to do or what you don't have to do, and then we'll continue on.
yeah, and to establish a handicap, it's what, three 18
holes.
or 6 9-hole scores. Right?
Correct.
So if we get 3 18-hole scores this year, we can get an established handicap for it.
I've never in my life played 18 holes. That makes me nauseous.
Okay, this also
Yes.
will be a great.
That makes me nauseous thinking about it.
Well, I'm excited. What else? Hey, kudos to you. Great work. I'm excited to document this experience, this journey. Right?
Thank you.
So, yeah.
We'll have to do a round marketing versus the pros, except for you guys all have some sort of like handicap that you have to do.
Good word.
You can only swing with 1 foot or something like that.
All right. Well, more on that. What else do you got on your show notes there?
We're not gonna have like foot removed, are we? We're just playing off of 1 foot.
I don't know. What do we have in the budget? Do we have foot removal in the budget?
You know, Tori, I think as you continue down this progress, one thing maybe you'll achieve down the road is that ultimate goal of making a hole-in-one. All right, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, asking like, how many hole-in-ones have you guys had? And we mentioned that there's 2 or 3 already early in the season, and
One of us has none, right? One of us
I
has
didn't-
none?
I didn't want to go down that road again and
Yeah.
ask. Like,
You have one.
I do,
Okay.
and you have.
I have at least one.
Yeah.
We
So,
can have a
Who
conversation.
doesn't have
Who
one?
doesn't have one?
I don't know,
I can't. That's amazing to me.
but you know what?
You
It's
don't
it's
know.
really not to me.
I'm gonna start picking on you a little bit.
You
Or
should.
on a double
You
eagle.
should. No, I've never had a double eagle, and I've never had a hole in one.
The
Well,
odds
you
of a
have-
hole-in-one. I feel like I've already went, and keep running over Chris, and then some.
Oh, it's fine. I don't care.
So no, the odds
I'm
of a
accepting.
hole-in-one.
I'm in the
The
acceptance.
odds of a hole-in-one are 12,500 to 1 is what I've read. So it's not like it's happening every day.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
12,500 to 1.
I thought it would be more than
I would too. Is that just general population?
General population,
Okay.
yeah.
all right.
So then, anyway, we had kind of an extraordinary hole-in-one this past week out at Rose Creek. The odds of an albatross, or what some people refer to as a double eagle, are 6 million to 1. Okay, so 6 million to 1. An albatross would be basically like making a 1 on a par 4 or a 2 on a par 5. And this week we had Coy Popacek, who's actually grew up right on Rose Creek Golf Course, now resides in Arizona, was back for just a visitation this past week. And how did he make a hole-in-one? But he made it on our longest par 4 at Rose Creek. He played from the back tees. Very windy that day, so there was wind aided, but still 454-yard par 4, and he knocked it on in. And that green is like super hard to access anyway, especially from the angle you're coming from the tee. But the location of the hole location that day was a front left position, so you could possibly roll it on up there, which probably occurred. Coy tends to hit a little bit from left to right anyway. And I know when he hit the shot, he knew it was a good shot. He got up there and he was like, how can I lose my ball? He's looking all over, he's looking behind the green. He knew it'd be up near the green anyway. And he was playing with like his mom, his sister, and then a couple others, friends that they have in their group. There was a witness nearby. I don't know exactly where that individual was at the time, but he saw a ball go in, but he just assumed that was probably someone's second shot and thought, oh, we're cool. Didn't see the individuals. And anyway, as Coy was looking all around, I think his sister was growing kind of impatient, said, hey, just drop a ball. We got to get going. There's people coming up behind him. And she happened, I think it was Kinsey that walked down by and said, hey, there's a ball in the hole. And sure enough, it was Coy. He was playing like a logoed Wildflower Pro V1 or something like that. And that's what was in the hole. So that was, really kind of crazy. And I think Coy had another hole-in-one. I think he had 2 other hole-in-ones. And I think they were both out at Rose Creek. I don't remember which ones they were. But, I was thinking of this and, it's not something that you hear too often as far as an albatross, because we just mentioned the odds. But I was talking, Steve Murdoch was out at the course yesterday. And Steve used to be a golf professional for a number of years. Grew up in Fargo's, north side of Fargo, was at Edgewood for a number of years as an assistant. And Steve just recently got his first hole-in-one. So he's 55 years old, a very, very good player in his time, and still continues to be a very, very good player. I'm sure he's destroyed more cups than you can imagine.
Oh,
yet had never had a hole in one. And finally, I think it was around May 17th, some mid-May, he was out at Village Green Golf Course and hit it on number 4. He just looked by the hole, checked, rolled backwards into the hole. You know, it just was like, you know, just he was going nuts. And I think Tom Welly is one of the guys in this group. He's like, wow, you're pretty excited. This is my first hole in one ever. Now, what's really crazy is that Steve has had 3 albatross. He's made 3, all 3 of them were on par 5s. And it was kind of cool because he mentioned one was actually in a PGA event, not a PGA Tour, but a PGA Club professional event down in Florida. The other 2 happened at Edgewood Golf Course. One, he was playing, I think, just a casual round with a couple of his friends. I think it was Scott Winger and Mark Kane. And that was on what used to be number 4, so that's number 13, correct? The dogleg left par 5.
Yes.
Yeah. So that one, I think he had ripped like driver, like 9-iron in or something like that. And then the second one was back like in the 80s when they had the Warren Roberts tournament. And this was kind of a cool story because he was playing what was then number 7, now is 16.
Correct.
And he hit big driver and he had 4-iron in hand. But as he was walking up to his tee shot, Gary Johnson, who was also an amazing player and still played very well, was coming up hole 8 at the time, which is now 17. And he's like, hey, Merds. He goes, you better make a 2 here because I just made eagle and got the skin wrapped up. And so Merds gets up there with 4-iron, in the hole. Whoa! He's screaming. He goes, I just made 2s. And Steve Murdoch ended up going on and winning the tournament. I think, and Gary may have been right ahead of him at the time. And so it's a pretty cool story that he makes deuce there and right on top of that eagle. And so, you know, it's like you hear so many.
That's karma right there. Put it out in the universe.
But you hear so many really good players like yourself that, you know, have not had it. And then you've got the other stories. Just quickly, I had one out at Rose Creek on hole number 4. This was several years ago. A woman came into the golf shop, and I don't know if it was a friend, boyfriend, husband, whatever. He came in actually first and said, hey, do you guys do anything for like a hole in one? And we do. Yeah, we do. Our park district creates these certificates, and you know, we just need some information. So I'm gathering this information as I'm doing this. I'm talking to her, and I'm like, wow, congratulations. You know, was that your first hole in one? And she goes, no, that's actually my second. I said, good for you. That's terrific. I mean, that doesn't happen too often. I said, do you play quite a bit of golf? I hardly ever play. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, I hardly ever play. I'm like, you're kidding. You've got 2 hole in ones. She goes, yeah. So I'm collecting this information. And she was playing from the forward tees that day. And that hole can get quite short. And so I think that day it was probably playing like 94 yards. Okay. And there's nothing in front of the green from the angle that that tee is. So I said, okay, 94 yards, number 4. What'd you use? A driver. Gotcha.
That's amazing.
I didn't ask if she ripped it, but you know, I got that right in the notes. So, you know, hole in ones come in different fashions. And so it's like you hear of those stories that a person could be almost like a first-time golfer, go on out there, they get a hole in one, the ball rolls on the hole, and then you've got someone like Chris Larson. Sorry, Chris.
It's all right. Yeah, just keep driving that truck over. We appreciate that.
So it was a pretty cool story, and it's always kind of fun to hear about others' individuals' experiences on that. And so it's kind of cool. Have you guys been getting many hole in ones at your course this year?
We've had 2.
We've had none at Edgewood and 2 or 3 at Elzago.
Okay.
Chris, you need to play Elzago a little bit.
I do. I need to.
You and
work
Cody
on that.
Baker, because Cody doesn't have one either.
Really?
Yeah, you guys just need to
We
keep
could
going
document
around and around.
that.
I
We'll
think
just-
that would be good, actually.
Right? Just go around El Zagel and have a camera on and see who gets a hole in one first. I've often thought of just sitting at a hole and just seeing how many times it would take. I would not do that because I love our superintendents. I would not tear up but I mean, it's just get it out of my system. I want to just take 100 rips at a par 3 to see
So
if I can knock
the
it in.
ladies invitational at Moore Country Club used to have a professional sit on, at that time, 15T.
Okay.
Shorter hole, but over the water, frantically makes the ladies extremely nervous.
Sure.
So to raise some money, I went out there to raise some money and hit some balls. I made one.
Really?
I made one. I didn't count it. That doesn't count as one of my hole in ones, but honest to goodness, the lady who I hit the ball for was like, I made a 1. That's
Yeah.
a hole in 1. Put a 1 on my card.
Were the other women looking at you like, oh yeah, you like her more,
Well,
you
the
make a
next-
hole in one for her.
Absolutely, they were. And the next one I dumped in the water. So I said, maybe you're just not nice enough to me.
Oh, Tori, have you ever heard of a candor?
Like the word candor?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, no, not as a noun.
Did you know a candor is another word for a 1 on a par 5?
No.
Or I guess that could be like a 2 again, 6. I don't know if that goes. I
Did you
didn't know
just
that
make
either.
that up?
I did not make that
I
up.
did not know that.
So as I was doing some research,
Candor.
a candor, I wonder if that's like a giant bird.
Or a
prehistoric
condor.
bird or something, or a condor. Condor! Condor. Can't
Okay,
read my
I
own
have,
notes.
Condor?
I have heard of
It's
a
not
condor.
condor.
man.
Wow,
Yeah.
no wonder.
Condor.
Welcome.
No wonder
to-
why you hadn't heard of it, Tori. So I looked at it and it was like, so
Use
that's like making
candor.
a 1
Right.
on a par 5. And supposedly there's only like 5 recorded. I'm not saying that's how many it's actually happened, but only 5 recorded, which I guess is understandable because only you can hit it that far.
No, that's insane though. Like hole in one on a par 5. That's they have to. Yeah.
There was one I saw that was recorded. I don't know if this was the longest one. I didn't research it that in detail. Obviously, I can't even say the word. So, but it was like one was like 475.
Yeah.
A couple of them I think were a little shorter. And I guess depending on how the layout is, maybe you could get some of your dog legs that maybe it's not as long
Right.
or something. Maybe you can rip it over 154 yards.
Yeah. I mean,
Not
he's
that deep.
he's definitely approaching condor
I
status.
Yeah.
aim at that right
Or
bunker.
candor.
I aim at that right bunker on this corner and I can't get it.
Yeah, I'm
Wow, that's
Incredible.
awesome.
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway,
It was hole 2.
hole number 2.
Is that the one with water on both sides?
No, that's 3.
It's 3.
3 is nasty. So, all right. Well, hey, kudos to Koi. That's insane. So it's like a baby condor.
I know my brother-in-law, who's the superintendent at Village Green, he had a hole-in-one on a par 4, which was the old number 5 at Holly Golf Course. The hole's not very long. That's kind of like we just talked about, like a par 5 was a huge dog leg. This one was like a really like 90-degree angle left turn, and you could kind of fly it over these trees. So as the crow flies, it was probably no more than, I don't know, it was like 240. It wasn't terribly long. I mean, a lot of guys can just knock it or would knock it over the green. Some people would probably be able to live in wind, or maybe it would even be wind today, would probably rip a 3-wood on or something like that. But I think and I believe he did that actually in a 4-man scramble, I think. So, but that hole's no longer
Couldn't
playable.
use his drive though today.
Yeah, he was already
Yeah.
out.
All right. Okay. Now, what else we highlighting? Anything else? You had some high school stuff.
Yeah, it's like tournament season for all the high schools. I mean, I've been kind of following along as far as on the Minnesota website, checking out like a lot of the section tournaments are being played right now or just being completed. Some will be going on next week. And in North Dakota, we just finished up the Eastern Dakota Conference that was going to be held at Edgewood. And of course, we had the flooding issues. And so they ended up moving it out to Oxbow. And they had a really nice day out there. I mean, until the storm came through. But I mean, I think the winds were down, the individuals that got out early, the scores were pretty decent, I thought, for Oxbow. It's not too often you probably get it as calm as it was early on. Hot, but very calm. And Grand Forks Red River, who's kind of been like in the second spot most of the year, edged out West Fargo Cheyenne. I know Cheyenne, I think, had only lost 3 Eastern Dakota Conference events all year long. They've got a very talented team, as does Red River. But in this one, Red River edged them on out. I think Carson Scarford, I believe, was low individual at 72.
Wow.
So that was some good playing. And then I think Nate is it Peril? I always forget. But Nate's out of Cheyenne. I think he's going to UND next year. Finished with a 73. And then I know Andrew Wilhelm from Cheyenne also shot 75. I think Andrew will be going to Crookston next year. So there's a lot of good players that have got some talent that are going to be moving on.
And Oxbow. They were playing Oxbow.
Oxbow, yeah.
Yeah, and they had a little bit of weather too, as it.
The late tee times, they went off a number 1 start the entire day. So some of those teams that were towards the end probably had 3-4 holes left to finish some of those groups. And I think it was up to almost a 3-hour delay before they were able to get them back out on the golf course again.
Do you have the scores right there?
Mm-hmm.
So what are the team totals there?
So, it was kind of interesting. They I think had a tie. Was it? No, they didn't have a tie. So we ended up having at the EDC we had Red River. No, I don't have the scores. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Red River ended up finishing first, though Cheyenne was second. Fargo North was
Fifth?
fifth, yep.
Quali. It's
Was
quali.
it was the four, 5, 6, 7 were within 3 or 4 shots of each other.
Just quali, boys. That's good.
right, yeah.
Yep. So I think Davies, North, I think South, all advanced onto the
Okay.
state tournament, which is gonna be played out next week in,
Dickinson.
River, Dickinson,
Yep.
yeah. So they'll be venturing out probably Sunday or early Monday morning, get a practice round in, and then I think state tournament's Tuesday, Wednesday maybe. So,
Yep.
It's good to see them out playing with
Yep.
how shaky the start was. So it seems like we kind of caught a stride there for high school golf. It was looking rough at the very beginning. So can't wait to see what happens out west. So
mhm.
all right, we should probably plug, right? We should probably plug. That's
What are we
probably-
plugging?
We're plugging FargoGolf.net.
All right.
Have you guys got your passes?
Oh,
No? Do you want to know how you get your
I
passes?
do.
All right. Hey.
can I get it at FargoGolf.net?
You can. You can go to FargoGolf.net and all 5 area golf courses are on there. If you need any information along with pass prices, green fees, any type of fees that you need to get some information on. And if you're looking to get your pass and pick it up, you can go to any of the pro shops in town. We'd be happy to help you out. We are still firing on all cylinders as it comes to passes. We need more. And we just got reloaded with our physical passes. So if anyone hasn't received those passes and you've purchased your pass online, go to the golf shops and we can hook you up with your physical pass. So you can scan right in at the golf shop and be on your way to the first tee. Also, you can check out your tee times and book those now. You have 3 days to book your tee times. And with the weather being so nice, they're booking up quick. So head on over to FargoGolf.net. All right. What else we got?
I'm out.
You're out?
Quick good luck to Zach Sklebar and Josh Persons
Yep.
play Monday, longest day of golf with US Open qualifiers. So good luck to them in Maryland. I believe both of them are Maryland. I think tee times and stuff comes out today. So
Okay.
good luck, and we'll try to get a hold of them when we get back.
Yep. Are we gonna do? Do you guys want to open up your gift? That the merch tent is live right now. We've got some Muni Misfits. So we got to figure out some fun little giveaway, like comment, subscribe. What did we do? Like the 100th subscriber?
I'm not counting my sweatshirt.
We did.
Yeah.
We're down underneath that again though.
Oh yeah. So we can go back to the 100th subscriber. So, Tori, you gonna come up with something creative for a giveaway?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, appreciate that. All right, hey, you guys got anything else for today? Awesome. Well, as always, it's been just an absolute pleasure. Nope, it's been a pleasure, and hope to see you guys out playing some golf. Right? Jesus, you need a
Forgot
shot
about little,
caller.
forgot about little Chris. Put your head in camera.
I'm right next to the campfire. Appreciate that. All right. With that being said, we are the Muni Misfits. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week.